Just found out my brother-in-law is the reason why my husband left me. I don't know what to do now. A year ago, my husband came home shaking. I heard the front door and then nothing. No keys hitting the bowl, no shoes coming off, just silence. I walked into the hallway and he was standing there with his phone in his hand, face completely white, staring at me like he had never seen me before in his life. He turned the screen toward me. Someone had sent him photos of me, explicit ones, with a message saying I had been cheating for months and that the guy felt guilty knowing my husband had no idea. I read every word and I did not recognize the name. I did not recognize the photos either, not at first, because my brain refused to process what I was looking at. Then I realized they were real pictures of me, my face, my body, taken from angles that only made sense if they had been pulled from somewhere private, edited, and weaponized. I told him it was fake. I told him I had never spoken to this person in my life. I grabbed his hand and he pulled away. I begged him to believe me. I cried so hard I could not breathe. I unlocked every account I had and handed him my phone and told him to go through everything. He spent an hour on it and came back looking worse than before. He said the evidence was too specific, too real. The timestamps, the messages, the way the guy wrote about me like he actually knew me. He said people don't go to that much trouble to lie. 2 months later, he filed for divorce. I stopped eating for a while. I went to work and came home and sat in the same spot on the couch every night trying to figure out what I had missed. We had been together 6 years. He was the person I called when anything happened, good or bad. Losing him felt like losing the ability to think straight. I kept replaying every conversation we ever had looking for the moment I could have said something different, something that would have made him stay. I genuinely thought I was losing my mind. My family rallied around me. My mom called every few days. My younger sister came and stayed for a week. Her husband, my brother-in-law, even texted a few times saying he was sorry I was going through this and that I deserved better. He came to one of the family dinners during that period and gave me a hug and said my ex was an idiot for not fighting harder to find the truth. I thought that was one of the kindest things anyone said to me all year. Then last week a stranger messaged me. He said his name and I almost deleted it, but something in the first line made me stop. He said he was the man who had contacted my husband and he was sorry. I sat there for probably 10 minutes before I typed back. He explained everything. My brother-in-law had approached him over a year before it happened, when my husband and I were still completely fine, still happy. He told this man I was a pathological cheater and that my husband was too proud to see it. He said he wanted someone outside the family to deliver the message so it would be more believable. He spent months building a case. He pulled photos from my private accounts, ones I had shared in small groups, ones I didn't even remember posting. He constructed fake conversations and coached this man on exactly what to say, what details to include, how to apologize in a way that seemed genuine so my husband would trust him more. He staged every single piece of it. I went back through everything in my head and felt sick. My brother-in-law was always just there. Every holiday, every birthday, every family dinner, sitting at the table, making jokes, pouring drinks. He came to our wedding. He stood in the photos. He danced at the reception. He hugged me at the end of the night and said I looked beautiful. He held it together while I sobbed at those same family dinners a year later when my marriage was collapsing. This man looked me in the eye week after week, knowing exactly what he had built and watched it burn. The stranger sent me the chat logs. I did not want to read them and I read every single one. Hundreds of messages going back years. My brother-in-law talked about me in ways I cannot repeat. He was obsessively furious in those messages, but he never let it show in person, not once. The version of him in those chats was unrecognizable from the man who sat across from me at Christmas. And the reason it started, the thing that lit the fuse on all of it, was that I turned him down once, before I ever met my husband, before my sister even knew who he was. He asked me out in university and I said no, and that was it. That was enough. He spent years building a life that put him inside my family, close enough to watch, close enough to act, and then he did. My sister has 3 kids with this man. She is happy. She thinks she married someone who loves her. I have the chat logs saved. I have his name in writing. I have the stranger's apology. And I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with any of this.